Hello, my name is George, and I am 2 weeks post-op from removal of a 2.5 centimeter acoustic neuroma or vestibular schwannoma on my left side. I want to start by saying I am not trained in the medical field, so please don't take anything from this video as being medical advice. This is just my story, and everyone's story is different, but perhaps someone can take something away from my experience and learn more about acoustic neuroma. I first learned that I had acoustic neuroma in March of 2017. After the start of the year, I noticed that I was losing some hearing on my left side. So I went in and had a hearing test done in February. My ENT suggested an MRI, which revealed that I had the acoustic neuroma. Acoustic neuroma, just for those of you who don't know, it's a benign tumor which grows on the main nerve in between the inner ear and the brain. And so that was really the only symptom I had. Other people have symptoms such as a loss of balance, severe ringing in the ears, and headaches. I really didn't have, I had a little ringing in the ear, which I didn't even notice until I began focusing on it after I was diagnosed. But it wasn't too severe. So I scheduled my surgery and had it again 2 weeks ago from today. And I came home after 2 days. I was able to walk pretty well, so that was the main reason I was able to be released to come home. So there are different procedures, some surgical, some non-surgical, depending on the size of the tumor. Mine was considered large at 2.5 centimeters, so my doctor suggested surgery. And the procedure that I had was a retro-sigmoid procedure in an effort to preserve what hearing I had left on my left side. Unfortunately, I did wind up losing all the hearing on my left side, but the good news is that the tumor was completely removed, and so I consider that a win. Obviously, I have some partial facial paralysis on my left side that my doctors tell me is temporary, which could mean 2 weeks, 2 months, 4 months, even longer. So the good news there, I think, is that right after the surgery, in the hours following the surgery, I was able to control the left side of my face. It wasn't until the next day that I actually developed the paralysis. So that is the reason why I have this eye cup on, because my eye won't work very well on that side. I can't really open it all the way, nor kind of close it separately, independent of my other eye. And so it gets very dry. I think also has something to do with the lack of tearing. So I have to take eye drops several times a day, and this helps keep the moisture in. Also helps keep my eye open a little bit, which helps with my peripheral vision, and I think one of the reasons why I'm able to maneuver around pretty well, walk around pretty well without getting dizzy or anything like that. Some of the other side effects that I'm experiencing are headaches, but they're not too bad. I get 4 or 5 headaches a day. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, maybe 4 or 5 or 6. It really hasn't been too bad. In fact, I haven't really had to use any pain medication, either prescribed or over the counter, the last couple of days. They don't usually last very long. Some people experience nausea, but I didn't really experience any nausea in the last 2 weeks. In the beginning, I was taking pills for that, but even not having taken the pills for the past week, I haven't felt nauseated. My appetite's been real good. Even when I was in the hospital, food really appeals to me, and one of the things that really I enjoy a lot right now. Seems like you even have a heightened awareness or appreciation for the meals. Again, no problems with balance. I've been walking a lot. I think that helps. I'm up to, for the past week, I've been walking 2 to 3 miles a day without any issues. I've been able to even pick up the pace a little bit. One thing I would recommend is that when you leave the hospital, if you have this procedure, you continue to take the stool softeners. I can tell that you certainly don't want to be constipated when you're recovering, because that puts a lot of pressure on your, it seems to put a lot of pressure in your head area, and probably is, I'm sure is not good to strain too much. It may lead to CSF leakage, or cerebral spinal fluid leakage. Speaking of which, I don't believe I have any CSF issues. The main symptom would be, from what I've read, a draining of liquid through the nose area or ear on the affected side. But I haven't experienced that, so I think I might be okay. But I have a follow-up visit with my doctor next Wednesday, and I'll confirm that she agrees that it doesn't seem to be an issue at this point. Of course, that could always change later. I forgot to mention, as far as the headaches go, sometimes if I sneeze or cough, I get a little bit of pain, so I try to, sneezing really can't be avoided, but one thing I've read and I've been told is that when you sneeze, you don't want to sneeze with your mouth closed, because that, again, internalizes that pressure, I believe, and could lead to maybe some CSF leakage. So generally when I sneeze with my mouth open anyway, but even so, that's still a little bit painful when that happens. Coughing is the same thing. I've learned to kind of try to minimize the coughing. If you cough hard, for me anyway, you definitely feel it, or I did, or I do. What the wound area looks like, I believe it's healing pretty well. That plus the hair is growing back, and it's not as easy to see. It's still numb in some areas and tender in some areas 2 weeks out, so I'm not sure. I should have got some clarification on that, but I'll check with my doctor next Wednesday to see if that's about right. The sutures that I have are the dissolving sutures, so they don't need to be removed. In recapping, I think I'm doing pretty well. If anyone has any questions, feel free to contact me. I'd be happy to answer any questions via email or on the YouTube posts. Again, I'm so grateful for being diagnosed properly and fairly early. I appreciate all the support that I've gotten from coworkers and my medical staff and my family. That's helped a lot, obviously. So again, I'll check back here in maybe a couple weeks with a follow-up, but I did also want to document where I'm at on this day, so I'll be able to look back and see how much progress I've made. So I'd be happy to share that with you. Thanks for watching, and take care.